So you've got this awesome riff that you want to play and you are fumbling all over it. Now we all know that what you have to do is grab the old clicker and play it at slower speeds and work your way up a little bit at a time until you get it at the right speed. What is this, 1970? Who even has one of those? Okay, so same point, but maybe you're using a metronome app on your phone or the free one that Google provides. But what I'm going to teach you today is a way that you're going to take these riffs and these licks that you want to play and sound like you've really mastered them. And this is a two-part answer, and the second part of this answer, when I figured it out, kind of discovered it, that's the one that really freaking blew my mind. For this lesson, we're going to grab a riff from my totally awesome Your Life Is Not Complete If You Haven't Heard This Song Yet instrumental song, which I will link here. That riff there isn't anything over-the-top shredder, but it took me a while to get it and get it with some feel, especially coming out of that hammer-on part back into the second repeat of the riff. Now getting it up to speed is one thing, but getting it to have feel and groove when you play it and really sound like you mastered it is another. And what I tongue-in-cheek referred to as blowing your mind is the second part of what we're going to talk about, but this first part, let's just focus on how you get it up to speed in the first place. As I said, we all know the bit about practicing it with a metronome or some kind of click at slower tempos and building it up a little bit at a time until you get it to the tempo of the song. But there's a problem with this, and that's that if you stop at the tempo of the song, you've learned to master it. You've learned to bring your ability right to the edge at the tempo of the song, and that's just not enough. You don't want to be like that guy running right at the edge of your speed and tripping over yourself if you play the lick. What we need to do here, if you really want to get this thing comfortably, is to play at 10 to 20 beats per minute faster and then go back to the speed of the song. So the example riff that we're working with in that song is at 118 beats per minute. What I did to learn this was to play it at 138 beats per minute. So I'll grab my phone metronome here, this little clicker. And at that tempo when you play it, yeah, it sounds a tad ridiculous, but now when I play it at the correct speed, it's really easy to get under my fingers. This also means that you'll be totally okay playing the riff at a much higher speed when you're out with your band playing live and you guys are all way excited and playing the songs at far too fast a tempo. I do not even know how many BPM fast we were that minute, but it was a lot. So that's step one. Now you got it, right? That should be it. You can play it too fast. You can definitely play it to speed. But that's all fine and good if you're just playing a very straight classical kind of riff with no real feel to it. But this riff has some feel and kind of groove elements to it, and that's where we have to go into practice trick number 2 when we really want to get every nuance of it correct. Now this is going to sound weird, but it makes a huge difference. I'm going to put the metronome on at the tempo of the song. Now I'm going to play it like this. Yep, that's right. I played it at 1/2 the speed. When you do that, you learn every little nuance. You learn what your picking hand is doing, which direction you're picking in, where maybe you're lifting your fingers up too high, or you're flubbing little pick clicks that we're doing in between. Sometimes with riffs that are really complicated, what the fingering is, which fingers you're choosing to use, and on what frets. It even comes down to nuances like how far you're traveling with the pick, how far your fingers are coming off the strings, and of course a huge one, managing to stay relaxed, keeping your forearms relaxed so you can play the riff cleanly when you get up to speed without being tense. When you're doing this, you'll be amazed at how much tension is in your hands and in your forearms that you don't realize is there. And there's a huge reward to doing it at that speed and learning to keep relaxed so that when you do play it at speed, all those little elements come into play correctly. You get the feel and the space of it and the groove of it, and you're not so tense that you play very stiffly. It's here that you really master the groove and feel of a riff, and where when you come back to speed, you start to play it in a way that people feel, maybe tap their foot to, want to move, the thing that makes them like listening to it. So as always, guys, I hope you found these tips really useful. Again, you learn to play it a little bit faster so that it's easier when you play it slower, and you learn to play it at half speed so you get the nuance and the groove down so that you play the riff in a way that makes people move to it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I get back to everyone as soon as I can. And until next time, keep making great music. Hey friends, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. It makes the whole world better.